Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Creating Memories and Creative Life. So, today, y'all, I am going to be making a um, Folio Journal, and we're going to be using this mini junk journal kit that is part of the card kit this month. And this is by Paper Roses, and you can tell that I'm sharing with you. Everything is perforated already for you, so all you have to do is just punch them out, except for the little envelopes on the back. You will have to cut those out, and you won't have the front page anymore, but you'll have these little envelopes. They're so cute. And so we're going to be using pretty much everything in this kit to create our folio journal. Okay, so to get started, you're going to need two pieces of 9 1/4 by 6. Okay, and you're going to use the six black 12 by 12 pieces that came in the kit. And these are all going to be used for this folio that we're going to be making. Okay, so again, you're going to need two 9 1/4 by 6 pieces cut. Okay, this is going to be for the front and the back of your folio. The next piece is a spine, and that's 2 by 6. Okay. I ended up cutting mine to 5 3/4. Because I was looking at the pages and I did that, but you can cut yours 2 by 6. And then you're going to need four pieces that are 9 1/4 by 5 3/4. And these are all going to be our pages, and we will be scoring these to go inside of our folio. And here is a photo of just what you need in the measurements for this folio. Now to get started, we're going to go ahead and you're going to grab one of the front pieces. Now this is the big, larger piece that actually has score lines on it that you can fold into a smaller, which is the mini journal that is present on the instructions on in the kit. But I ended up using the whole sheet. You get two of these. So I used one for the front and one for the back. And this is how we're going to be making this folio journal. So again, I'm placing this on the back of our cardstock. Now you're going to need your scoreboard because we are going to score our spine. Now our spine is going to be a 1/2 inch on the left hand side and a 1/2 inch scored down the right hand side. So you're going to have 1 inch in the middle, okay? And then you're going to fold those up, and that's going to be our spine. On the 9 1/4 by 5 3/4 inch pages, you're going to score a 1/2 inch on that left hand side, okay? So all of those are going to be scored a 1/2 inch. And then we're going to move on to doing the next part. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put our spine on. And you're going to add your glue to that 1/2 inch flap that we just scored. Okay, and again, this is the 2 by 6 inch piece. Okay, and then you're going to go ahead and once you get that 1/2 inch flap with your adhesive on it, you're going to go ahead and take the back of your book that you just covered with those two long pieces, okay? And you're going to place that 1/2 inch flap to the edge of the left hand side, okay? Now, yours will reach all the way from the top to the bottom. Mine did not because when I was doing it, I didn't cut it at 6 inches. I cut it at 5 3/4, which is the size of your pages, which is fine. You can do that too, but 6 inches would probably look better. but anyway, I went ahead and still used the spine. It was still good, no worries. So I went ahead and grabbed the other front page, okay, and I'm going to add that to that 1/2 inch flap again with the glue. So now our book is made and we're ready to move on. So for this next part, I decided to go ahead and add in some pink paper just to give it a nice backing. And I thought the black with the pink looked really pretty. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to use that. So now we're going to grab one of our pieces, our pages that is 9 1/4 by 5 3/4, and we're going to go ahead and place some glue on that 1/2 inch flap. Make sure that the flap is facing upwards towards you. Next, we're going to go ahead and place that 1/2 inch flap at the edge of the back of the book. Okay, so now you have a page that folds outward, okay, to the right hand side. So that is our first page that we have inside of our book now. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and move out to the other pages. So for our spine, since we don't have like actual paper with this, I decided to go ahead and use the larger of the two little flaps that come in the kit. Okay, and because that is a perfect size to cover our spine, I went ahead and I'm going to cut out about 1 inch from this little flap. So it's just a 1 inch piece, and then you can save the other part for something else. So, and I go ahead and I end up using this piece as a little tuck spot inside of the book. So here I'm just cutting that end off, okay, and then I cut off the 1 inch piece, and now I'm just gluing it to the spine. So it fits perfectly up there. I just absolutely love how this looks. Now we're going to go ahead and insert the remaining pages. So for our other next page, you're going to go ahead and again place some glue on that 1/2 inch flap. On the little spine, okay, off to the left on the other side of that score line from the spine, there is a 1/2 inch spot, okay? You're going to go ahead and place that page on the other side of that score line. So it'd be over to the left-hand side, over on, left of that little score line there. So your page will go back and forth. Be sure not to glue your little 1/2 inch flaps to the score lines because then your pages won't close right. So here I'm placing this page into the spine area. So I am covering up that little pink 1 inch piece that I put in there, okay, and that's going to go in there, and then you're going to place the other page right behind that page, and that is going to go, again, you don't want to glue this to the score line. You want to make sure that everything closes and opens really easy. So you're just going to glue that page right beside the other page inside of that spine area, okay? And then you're going to go ahead and you're going to burnish down all of them really well. And now our book is ready to be decorated. Okay, so that little piece that we just cut, I went ahead and made it a tuck spot right behind the front of the cover. And here I'm just going to go ahead and I just added that little piece of ephemera right in the pocket there, that little tag. And then here I'm just going to go ahead and fold in all of the little pockets that we have in this collection. Now you notice that you have a lot of little flaps and pockets and stuff in your collection. And so here, this one had two pieces that are the same. And so I went ahead and placed some glue on the little flap and glued it up above on the first page that's inside of our booklet. And then we're going to glue the other one right below that. Now you want to make sure that they're lined up real correctly, so they're not off center. And then you're going to need two magnets, and I'm going to place one magnet right on top here, and then the other magnet is going to go below. So you see me putting the magnets on, and I apologize for the camera. I know I keep apologizing but um, I am apologizing because usually I try to get like right in the camera area, and I'm still getting used to my camera being so way up high, higher than usual. And I mean, like it's down low, but it's up, like up towards the front of my desk more. So, and so there's the magnets. And then I went ahead and I placed, so these strips, I was going to go ahead and use them to cover up the white area of the flaps, but I decided to go ahead and cut some paper to create a little photo area. Okay, so I went ahead and cut a couple of mats for this for a photo. And if you want to, you can do this. If you don't want to do this part, you can make this into whatever you would like. Um, but the black mat is 4¼ by 5½. Okay, and then the pink one is 4 by 5¼ So it's totally up to you if you want to do this. Again, you don't have to. I just thought it would be nice. And later on, you'll see why I went ahead and did this mat. And then I placed some like little things inside to like say like remember or dream or things like that. I mean, if you have like like let's say you create a mood board or something like that every year or something, you can place that inside of here to kind of remind yourself, oh, this is what I was doing that year, or this is what I wanted to do this year, or maybe you took a trip somewhere and you just want a little keepsake photo inside of here. You know, it's not like if you want it to be a photo album, you can do that. But I just did it to where you could keep like little pieces of your year or maybe little pieces of your self inside of this little book. And so I hope that you guys really like this book. I thought it turned out great. Now for this next section, we're going to use both of these little pockets that have the roses on them. And so you're going to go ahead and place one down below on the left hand side, and this is on the back of one of the pages, and then the other one you're going to place up above. And I just love these little pockets. You can do so much with these. You can even place them on the side, you know, on their side to where the pocket is maybe opened to the right hand side. And so you don't have to face, you know, put them like, you know, horizontal. You can place them vertically. You can place them, you know, or, you know, vice versa, whatever. And so I just think that they're really super cute. And, you know, I just used regular, I used glue on some of it, and then some of it I just used my tape because I went ahead and placed tape on some of the stuff, you know, prior to putting these down. And then we're also going to be using some of those flat back pearls and the chipboard to be decorating. And you saw the cover, so we did use that, and we used them sporadically throughout the book. So yeah, so here I have this little notepad in my stash. It's just laying on my desk actually, and it says, with God, all things are possible. So I actually cut it down to fit in the book, and then I backed up a small parts of it with this black cardstock. And I thought about it after. I went ahead and glued this down, but what I would suggest is if you have like some magnets or something, maybe put the magnet down on the book, and then put the magnets on the back of the little backing of your notebook, and then you can just set it in there. So that way when you're done with your notepad, you could just grab a new notepad and put it in there. And yeah, so that way you don't have to worry about, you know, ripping it out or anything like that. You could just, you know, magnetize it, you know, or you could even use a flat piece of magnet sheet. So if you have like magnet sheets, you could definitely use that. I would suggest using that instead of like the regular magnets that we use to open and close our albums, instead of the silver ones, the small round ones, but you can use whatever you have available. I just thought the magnets would be best. So here I'm using this little side pocket, and I did add some tape and glue to this, and um, I'm just laying it down here on top of the page. And I think this is our second page, and it's the back of the second page. And then these two little pieces, they're actually flaps. I went ahead and glued them together, and I thought if you wanted, you could put pictures in them, or you could make it into like a little notebook, maybe add some paper inside of here, whatever you want to do. And I just thought that this was a super cute idea. So you could just place photos or whatever you want in there, and there you go. So now we're on to our other page. So here I did throughout, like wherever I kind of had a vision, I just kind of decorated that page real quick. And there are pages where I didn't do that, and then there are pages where I'm like, oh yeah, I want to put that there. I think that looked good there. So I just kind of stuck some ephemera here and there, and then I went back in through the page after we were all done with the book, and went ahead and finished decorating everything. Okay, so I had this idea, and I had this little notepad. It's one of those little sticky notepads. And you make these for swaps or different things, as gifts. And so I decided to go ahead and cut the paper at 3 1/4 by 12. And then I just trimmed it down where I needed it to go. And so I went ahead and just folded it over. I didn't really score it at all, just kind of scored it and folded it with my fingers. And then I went ahead and cut part of that off. You saw me just kind of rip out the top of that. And then I came in, and so I got my little, your scissors that are decorative scissors that we have all used like right in the beginning of crafting. I went ahead and grabbed some and cut a little line across that so it would look decorative. And then I came back in and I decorated everything and laid everything down. Okay, so one thing I noticed is my little notepad wasn't sticking down. So what I did is I placed glue on the back of the last page of that notepad, and I just laid it down, and it worked perfectly. So it stays in place. So I guess the little sticky wasn't just working very well or something. So I went ahead and just glued that last page down, stuck that on there, added magnets, and it worked great. So here on this other page, I decided to add some other things. Now, because we had lots of words that said like create, to-do list, um, we had adventure, journey, all kinds of different things. I went ahead and added some of those to like where the note area is, like that little notepad where it says hello. And then on the other side where it says adventure and journey, just in case you wanted to stick some photos of maybe a trip or something like that in there, I thought that would be super cool. So next, I brought in some of this lace that is from a previous kit. I think this lace is from last month's kit. And I went ahead, and I know I'm out of frame, and I really apologize for this, you guys. But I laid this piece down. Now this is a larger flap, and we're going to add this to the left-hand side inside the back page of that third page there. And then I went ahead and cut this little ephemera piece down, and I'm sticking that on a memo book. And we're gonna actually put this back behind that little flap, and I think this is going to work so cool. So I was like really excited about this because I was like, oh, this looks so cool. So I hope you guys like this part. I really liked it. And so I'm just going to stick that on top of that little memo page. And you don't have to like take everything off, and just cover that up with, ephemera pieces if you want. And so we're going to stick this behind there, and then we're going to go ahead and wrap that around there. Now, the one thing that I came back and added was a little holder for our booklet. I wanted to see what it would look like just sitting there like that. But it did fall out, of course, because it's not held together by anything. So here on the top of this flap, I put today. And so, if you have any notes or anything like that, you could definitely add that on the today list or something. And then appointments. So I went ahead and added appointments on there, and then just kind of added ephemera here and there. So like some flowers, and there was books and stuff like that. I'm a big reader. I love reading books. I listen to a lot of audiobooks as well. And so so what I do when I craft or I'm cleaning or doing dishes, I read or I listen to a lot of books, right? It's just something that really relaxes me and I just like it. And so, anyway, I went ahead and put that book stack there, to remind myself I love books and that, I need to read my book. So here you see that little booklet just kind of sliding out there. So then I decided, oh yeah, we need to add a little holder here. So I went ahead and grabbed just a strip of paper, and we're going to add that in there in just a sec. Now, what I did is I took a 1-inch strip of paper, okay, and I went ahead and just placed it around the entire little booklet there, okay. And then you're going to fold the sides in, and you're going to glue this, okay. And then you're going to go ahead and slide it on the back of your little notepad here, and then I'm going to add some tape to this, and then I also added glue. I like adding both to just feel like it's more secure. Plus, when you add the glue on top of your adhesive, that gives you a little bit of wiggle room. So if you need to maneuver something around a little bit, you have that time frame before it actually just sticks down, right? And so here I'm just adding my glue, and I'm going to go ahead and place that right there. And I just think that that is super cool. So I was really excited. I think that was one of the things, besides this and the little notepad thing, I really liked adding these little notepads inside of here, because we're always looking for something to write down or something like that. And I just thought it really was nice to add this to this little journal, folio journal that we're making. Here is one of those other little pockets that match. And so here I'm just taking off the tape, and we're going to kind of do that same thing with these, where one is up higher than the other. And so here I added one on the opposite end. And these are a little smaller. They're so cute, and I just love them. So here we had these little pieces left over, these ephemera pieces that you can write on or whatever. I decided to go ahead and turn them upside down and make them kind of like a little pulley thing and add those to the top of those. And then you're going to add your little tags inside of there. Okay, so here we're going to go ahead and place this last little pocket right here on the back side of that page that folds out. And this is going to be on the left hand side. And then you have this little envelope, this little blue envelope that's super cute. And I didn't know what to do with it. So I went ahead and just laid it down, and then layered the hearts on top of it, and then added that little flower right there. And I think it is so cute. I did magnetize that, so you'll just put a little magnet in there to hold little receipts or keepsakes or whatever you want inside of there. And now we're ready to do the front. Okay, so to start, I went ahead and grabbed my gelatos, and I went ahead and rubbed on a dark pink, and then I used a light pink up on top of the wings. And I just kind of blended these two together until I got the right, I guess, look that I was looking for. So, so it didn't take long. I really enjoy using my gelatos when I can on chipboard. It's just so easy to blend, and I really like the look. So I went ahead and used that to do the butterfly. Next, I came back in with that elixir, which is the ink that we got for the mixed media kit. And I went ahead and went around the entire area of the moon shape. And I just thought that this was so pretty. It really brightened it up and everything. And we do add some of the pretty flowers that are in the card kit on top of this. So you really, I mean, you can't see a whole lot of this, but it does look pretty. I really like how it looked. Next, I glued down the chipboard piece that we just did, and then I came in and I placed the words down that says success, dream, and create, and then the word moments. And I just thought that was a really nice title for this because we kind of have a different, type feel to this because it is a folio journal, and it, can hold any of your success things, or whatever you did or want to do. Like you can create in this. You can dream, put in a mood board, or put in, maybe you have photos of something that you want to do, and you can put those in there. So I just thought that this was such a cute idea, and so then I added this one of the little um, fold up envelopes. I stuck little flowers inside of it, and so glued that on there. Added this little typewriter on here along with a little stamp and some other flowers. I just thought that this was so cute, and so I did pop up some of these things with some foam tape. And you can do, you if you want to do, get the front of your folio journal like mine, I'm fine with that. I mean, that's what I'm here for, is to give you inspiration. And so, and if you do, one of these, then if you do this video, then go ahead and post it on our Facebook page so I can see what you did. I would love to see how I inspire you to create things. And so here I'm adding the flowers that are in the kit. I'm just going ahead and putting those around the little butterfly here. And I just thought that those looked so cute on there, and just really lovely. So here I just wanted to add in how I placed my little flat back pink pearls on here. I just went sporadically and just placed them all over the place. Um, and I really think that they were so cute. I love the iridescent look of these. They're very shiny, and I just think that they are so shabby. I love it. So, yeah, I really like how this looked, and I hope that you guys enjoy these too. So next, I just wanted to share, what I did on a couple of the pages here. And I just added some ephemera here and there. I didn't use all my ephemera, throughout, because I wanted to see where I wanted to place it after I was done getting all the pockets and everything like that inside. So I'm glad I waited, because it is easy to really use all of the ephemera all at one time on just a couple of pages. So I went ahead and added some of these flat back pearls throughout each of the pages, and you'll see here in a minute when I share with you all of the pages next. Okay, you guys, so we're done with our little journal and folio, and I think this turned out super cute, and I hope you all like it. So we went ahead and added some ephemera to the front. We went ahead and added this chipboard piece that you get in your kit, and I went ahead and I colored it with the bottom, or the round part, the moon part. I went ahead and did with the mixed media kit, the green. And let me see if I can get that for you. So we went ahead and used this, and this is the elixir. And then we went ahead and I colored the wings with some of my gelatos, and then used a marker to color the body. And then I added some stickles up on top. I think that looks so pretty. I love the little shiny stickles on there. And then I added some ephemera from the kit. And then the words, I put success, create, and dream moments. And I just thought that was super cute.
Thought that was a really nice title for this. And then added some of the little flowers that are from the kit on there, as well as the flat back pink pearls. And then here's our spine, and I know that's really up close. I'm sorry. I'm still trying to get used to my camera, you guys. So we open this up, and the first page we have like a little tuck spot here, and I just think that's super cute. And then I just added some ephemera here. Now you can write on this, whatever you want. I just thought that was super cute here. I added some ephemera pieces on the side, and then this is magnetized. You can add a photo, or maybe you want to add, I don't know, a photo of like a memory board, or just something that is maybe your dream of having or doing, or maybe someplace you went, and you can journal about that. On this next page here, you can go ahead and add some like other little things, write some other little dates and things like that. Here it says remember, and then I added a little camera with some other little flat back pearls on here. On this side here, you can add some notes. I put like a little typewriter with thoughts, and you can add your thoughts here. And this lifts up, so you can go ahead and do that. Now I just used a little notepad that I have in my stash, and it just sits on my desk. And so I thought this would be super cute in there, just to write some like little notes and everything, right? On the next page, you can go ahead, and this one just says adventure, love, journey. And I thought either you can add photos inside of here, or if you wanted to, you could definitely use this as a little booklet, add papers and stuff in here, and you can go ahead and write some little things in there about maybe your adventures, maybe you went someplace and you want to remember or whatever. And I just thought that was super cute. And then same thing here. Here, I decided to add like another little notepad, and with a couple of little tags. Maybe you want to send somebody a little gift, and you can open this up. It is magnetized, and you can, write a little note. Send, I don't know, just send blah, 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 gift or whatever, or maybe it's their birthday or something, and you want to remember that. So here on this side, I thought this was a really good idea. And so I added some pearls to this, and um, and then I added some ephemera and just kind of stacked it on top of each other, layered it. And then here on this, what I did is we went ahead and added a little notepad. And again, you can write your notes in here. This does slide in and out, so you could take this out once you're done. You could take it out and then slide in a new one if you wanted to. So I just thought that was such a cute idea. And so that way you can write little extra notes or something like that. I just thought that was super cute. And it says appointments and then today on here. So I thought that was super cute. Then on this side here, I just stuck some of the tags that were in our kit inside of here. And these are just, little tags for, I don't know, if you want to send a gift to somebody, or, whatever. And then here is just a little tag down here to journal or write something on there. This opens up like this, so you've got two pages here, and this one here, you can, again, add some little notes. These are little just note leaflets that just, come out. And then I added some ephemera here, and then here I added some of the pockets. And you get this super cute little envelope that is, opens up, and I just went ahead and put it together. And you can add, maybe a little note or something in there, and just kind of, fold this up, whatever you want to do. Maybe you have some receipts or something you want to save, and you just, stick those in there and then fold it down. And then here I went ahead and added a couple of little tags. You can use those for journaling or whatever. And I just thought that this was super cute. So this is just a different take on this kit, and I went ahead and cut the front page, so I can't show you the front page. But if you have one or if you get one, you'll notice that this one is different than the one that is shown on the actual site or the actual front page of the kit. But I just wanted to give you some ideas on how to create something that's different with each kit. I like doing that and giving you inspiration. So thanks a lot for joining me, y'all. Take care. I have all the links down below for you, and I will be talking to you soon. Bye.
Thanks for joining me today, y'all. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial and head on over to Trace Jolie to check out their shop. Please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and comment, and join me Friday nights at 4:30 Central Time.